Welcome to the first episode of the DIY Try Guy YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be showing you some new projects that we're going to be working on. The whole purpose of the DIY Try Guy channel is to show you projects that you can try at home that are DIY that will possibly save you some money and also fun to do and learn something in the process. This is the whole reason we have started this channel. So we're going to be going out into the garage, we're going to be into the yard, into the kitchen, all these different types of places. So we hope you come and join us on this little journey that we're doing. So if you're new to the show, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that like. It's going to help our show to grow, and share it with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, and things of that nature. This is how we're going to reach people, and we want to ask you to help us grow our channel and to become part of our DIY community. So with that, guys, let's jump over to making your own paving stones. Hey, welcome to the first episode of the DIY Try Guy. Today, the reason we're out here in this hot sun, South Texas, is we're going to show you a little project to help you save a little bit of money. One of the things that we use a lot out in the country are paving stones. And as you can see, I've built some forms. I'm going to show you how easily it is to do these forms and to recreate these types of paving stones that you would find at like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and stuff like that. And it depends on the time of year what you're going to pay for one of these 12-inch stones. And here's the interesting part about it. The ones that you buy from Lowe's, they aren't 12 inches. They're slightly shorter. So yours are going to be exactly 12 inches. This is one from Lowe's. Depending on the time of the year, you can spend anywhere from $1.50 to $4 per stone. So what we're going to do is show you how to make your own forms, pour your own concrete, and make your own forms for just pennies on the dollar, basically. The next one we want to look at are these custom-made type stones, like little flagstones that you would use for a patio or a custom deck or custom walkway. And the reason we chose these is because when you try to buy these can go upwards of $3 to $6 a piece, depending on the size and the shape that you want to get. So at the end of the video, I'm actually going to show you a photograph of how we use these stones to make a custom walkway going to my deck. But first, let's jump right into the video. Okay, for the first portion of this video, I'm showing you how to make these 12 by 12 just frames that you can use to pour your own concrete. It's a simple 1 by 2 little pieces. You just cut them off with a chop saw. You take one side of it, you can see it's got 2 screws holding it together. I used a furniture nailer first to pop it together to hold everything true. And then on this side, you'll notice there's a gap. The reason you want that gap is so when you get ready to break your form apart, your brick comes out without getting stuck basically in this. So for this piece, and the reason it's painted a different color, so I know that's the side. I actually pre-drilled the holes into this front face, made them a little bit bigger, so whenever I screw these out, back these out, I can just give this little tap and it comes loose. My stone falls right out. And this keeps everything from basically hanging up. So, just to show you how the gap closes up, they can do your drill. See that gap close up? And now, this one is ready to be used to make your first set of stones. And you'll notice I have a piece of plywood here. This plywood is sitting on top of 2 sawhorses, and I've got some 1x2s running underneath it to keep this plywood from sagging. And the reason I did that was because the first time I tried to make these stones, I did them in the garage, and the humidity was so high it took several days for it to dry. However, if you do your stones outside on something like this, they'll dry within a few hours, and then you can start using your stones. And cover it with a piece of plastic, so that way, just your average painter's plastic that you buy at Lowe's in a big roll. And I just stapled it down to the plywood, and this keeps the concrete from actually adhering to your wood underneath. Just helps it out a little bit better. Okay, for this next part here, we're going to be pouring the concrete into this wheelbarrow and mixing it up. I've got a bucket of water ready to go, and the reason I'm showing you this coffee can is just your standard Folgers coffee can that you can use. We're going to use this as our scoop to pour into the mold, so you're not having to make that big of a mess. Also helps to have these type of gardening trowels. So first thing we're going to do is mix up this concrete. Make sure you're standing downwind so that way, or upwind, so see, there you go. So you don't get this concrete dust on you. First thing we're going to do is mix up one bag. This one bag will make several molds. And then that's about the consistency you want. You see how it's kind of thick and pulls off of the trowel or the hoe? And we don't want to spill this bucket or this bag. Now, this form right here, I did not make. I bought this one at Lowe's. They run about $15. As you can see, it's the different types of flagging stones. You can make your own forms. And I'm going to do a DIY video later, how to make your own forms for different styles like this. So the first thing we're going to do is going to scoop up our concrete. Now that we've got our concrete scooped up, start pouring it into your molds. Just like that. Super simple, easy to do. That's why I say use an old coffee can if you've got some old Folgers, the plastic ones, because you can rinse them out afterwards. And just tap it around like that. Make sure it fills in all the corners. And there you go. What you're going to do is you're going to let that sit a couple hours. Actually, you can let this sit until it permanently cures. This one, you're going to let sit a couple hours, come out and tap this, and we're going to take this mold off, so that way our bricks don't stick into it. We'll start first with this big one. A little bit more in that one corner. And there we go.
Look, actually, right here, like if you come in this direction, you can see there's a little gap on it.
That's not going to hurt it. We'll just fill up each individual one, or whichever ones you plan to use. Okay, let's say for the purposes of this video, these are the only bricks that I want out of this mold. Okay, let's take some more. Fill up this other. Tilt it forward a little bit for me. this point, I'm going to take my garden trowel and finish scraping out our wheelbarrow. Tilt it forward. There we go. Okay. Okay, and as you can see, that's pretty much what we've got right now. So we're going to let this one cure for a couple hours. We're going to come out here and remove this and then let these bricks finish curing. When these are finished curing, basically all we have to do is back these screws off on this painted side about a ½ inch. Then you just take your little hammer, tap it, it's going to open it up and it's going to leave these and this part open a little bit, and this just slides right off of your brick. And then you have a paving stone that only costs you a few pennies on the dollar. And that's how you do it. We'll come back out in about an hour or two and I'll show you how to remove this. Okay, we're back out here. It's been about 2 hours, and what I'm wanting to do right now is show you exactly how easy it is to remove this form once it's set a little bit but not completely. If you this particular form from Lowe's, if you let the concrete set in it completely, you have to tap it out and it becomes a real pain to get out of it. However, if you wait until it's still semi-wet and moist, it's a little bit hard, but it's still got a little pliability to it. And so here we go. Look at that. Pops right out. So let's cut and I'll show you the bricks. Okay, so basically, this is what we have now. As you can see, there's a little bitty thin skin down in here. Well, once these are cured completely, you're going to be able to slide this brick out of the way, and that little bit of stuff like that is just going to flake right off. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow, let these finish up curing, and about the same time, we're going to show you how to release these. And to do that, as I said before, there's a screw here and a screw here. We're going to back these out about a ½ inch. Take you a little piece of wood and you just set it right here against this. Give it a tap. This will move out a ½ inch, which in turn allows this to be flexible and allows this one to flex a little bit. And these forms will just slide right off. Works wonderfully, and you save yourself a bunch of money. Hey, good morning, guys. As you can see, everything is soaking wet. Welcome to South Texas. Wonderful, bright, sunny day when we did these. Rained like you wouldn't believe last night. But I'm not worried about it because these had almost 12 hours of cure time before the rain actually came in. And so right now I'm going to show you how to break these forms apart and where you can get these paving stones out. So take your cordless drill and you're going to find the front face that I painted. You're going to do the same, so mark it some way where you'll know where it is. Take and just back your screw off. About a ½ inch. Take a piece of wood or something, piece of scrap lumber or something that you have, and just kind of tap it. The reason I say use a piece of scrap lumber is you don't want to be slinging a hammer in here and then chip your paving stone. Alright, now watch. Look at that. Pops right out. Boom. There you have it, guys. 2 paving stones. Okay. Now these aren't as thick as like the one that I bought from actually the hardware store. However, if I'd have filled this all the way to the top, it would be exactly as thick. These are actually going in for my duck pond, so these are about the thickness that I want for it. You can actually make your forms to pretty much any thickness you want, such as the 4-inch thick 12x12s for putting underneath like decking and stuff like that. You can spend up to $6 a piece for those blocks right there. For $2.90, you could make about 2 of them. So think about that when you're looking at cost effectiveness. Also, went ahead and we took these flagstones or cobblestones and broke them apart, or actually didn't have to break them apart, just kind of move them around, and all that stuff right there just flakes off where the little pieces were. And so we have multiple sizes of those that we can use around the duck pond or a paved walkway. Now, we're going to head back over to the house, and I'm going to give you a cost analysis why this is actually cheaper to do rather than buying these stones outright from like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart even carries them sometimes. And so this is pretty much what we want to walk over real quick. So let's head back over to the house. Okay, we're back at the house and under the deck, so that way out of the rain a little bit, because it is still a little sprinkling out there. Like I said, last night we had a major rainstorm that came through. It did not affect the curing of the bricks, as you saw whenever I pulled them out of the forms. Now, I wanted to bring you back to the house and actually talk a little bit about cost analysis, why this will save you money in the long run, if this is something you are capable of doing. If you have scrap lumber laying around in your shop, you can make these forms very simply and easily and cost effectively. So let's do a first small breakdown. The bag of concrete that I used for this particular project that I showed here on this video was 150-pound bag, and I had already taken a couple of scoops out of it, so I replaced those scoops out of another bag. So $2.90 is what I paid for that 50-pound bag of concrete. I mixed it up, and I've got several flagging stones, and I've also got 2 paving stones out of one bag. Now, I did some price comparison and checked online at like Lowe's. Lowe's has these 12 by 12 paving stones for $1 a piece. However, they're not even 12 inches. They're 11.7 inches by 11.7. So you're not getting your full 12 inches out of it. When you make your forms, you can actually make your forms to any size you want. Like, let's say you have a spot or a particular area of your paved walkway that you're making that is 12 3/8. Make your paving stone 12 3/8. So you could, by doing your own types of forms, you have the ability to adjust the size. However, $1 for a 12 by 12, that's actually 11 3/4, I guess we could call it. Or they've got another, is depending on the color of it. It can go up to $3.68 a piece. And the cobblestones, which you saw those little flagstones that I made, those can run $4.98 a piece depending on the size. The smaller ones up to $1.50. So yeah, it's cost effective to make your own cobblestones. And the patio stones, which is very similar to the cobblestones. And I've got a car driving by, so just hang on for a second. The patio stones, which are very similar to the cobblestones, but they're a little thinner and they got a shinier finish on them. You can do that with this. You can do that with doing your own concrete forms. Those patio stones are $5.28 a piece. This is all at Lowe's. Now, this is another one that I thought was really interesting. Your standard 12 by 12 paving stone or 16 by 16 paving stone. That the only thing they've done is make it look like it's a set of bricks laid in a pattern. I've done these before, and I literally take a piece of wood and have it rounded on the edges, and I just stick it down in there, and I do my brick pattern in it. Let it cure. Now it looks like I've got a paving stone that has bricks in it. Those bricks, a 12 by 12, is $4.18 at Lowe's. And at Home Depot, just to give you an idea, Home Depot is selling you a 10.5 by 7 inch brick, $1.98. Or a 7 inch by 3.5 inch brick. That's 98 cents. But a 12 by 12, depending on which color you get and if it has the brick design in it, can go anywhere from $1.48 to $3.98. So if we take the high that we have over there at these stores, so let's say Lowe's, $3.68, so we'll round that $3.50. I've got 2 bricks over there already that I've made. That's $7. I've already made them for $2.90. Plus, I've also made a bunch of these cobblestones, which run $4.98 at Lowe's. So, like I said, if you have the capability and you just got scrap lumber, because this is literally what I use to make these forms, just scrap lumber that I have laying around from other projects. Scrap lumber, a few nails, a couple of wood screws, you're good to go. Buy yourself a $2.90 bag of concrete or several of them and start making these bricks. You're going to save yourself money and you're going to be able to do these nice projects that look nice around your property. So next part I'm going to show you is I'm going to actually show you one of the walkways that I was working on around my deck. Okay, so we're back out in the yard. We're not going to stay here too long because it's still kind of sprinkling a little bit, but yeah, that's the cobblestone walkway. That's the exact cobblestone pattern that I just showed you how to make. $2.90, 50-pound bag. If you were to use one 50-pound bag, you would get 2 of those sections, which is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stones per section. And so what my son and I would do is we would mix them up and then come out here and lay them. Alright, so I want to thank you for joining us today on the first ever episode of the DIY Try Guy. And like I said, the video was rough in this one. This is the first time we've actually videoed me doing projects. I normally host a podcast, and I have another YouTube channel called the Anything Goes Project. All of it's done within my studio, controlled environment. Well, as we know, while doing DIY stuff or building in a shop, sometimes things don't go exactly the way you want it to. For instance, I tried to do a DIY video for the next one coming up. About 3/4 of it didn't even film because when I hit the record button, it didn't start recording. And so these are just some of the things that we're going to be having to work out. But I do want to thank you for stopping by and watching this channel. And hopefully the project that I showed you is going to be able to save you some money. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the like, share it with a friend. And with that, guys, you guys have a safe day and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And just stay safe in your shops.